Good rising, family. Trying to see what's going on. Hey, YouTube already starting, right?
He that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Just waiting for the family to kind of
The
come
sun
in.
shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night.
Give them opportunity to kind of come in and get a chance to come in and get
He
notifications.
shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall
We'll be doing a
preserve
little
thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Amen.
Just give the family a chance to get notified. You guys are good, man.
Yahweh, Yashamoria, Nakal, Rai, Yashamar, Napasha, Yahweh, Yashamar, Hawalakya, Wa'aya, Ma'aitha, Wa'ai, Hawalam, Aman.
Hopefully stuff's buffering. It's not really changing too much as far as the people in here, so I'm sure, hopefully the numbers everything will get caught up. It's buffering everything. Like I said, trying to give the family a chance. Thank you, Ancient Garden. I'm glad you're already here. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you to the moderators.
Isaiah, Yabawa'a, Mayahaw, Shavaya, Barataza, Ma'a, Yenathan, Lamawat, Regalia, Yala'a, Noam, Shashamoria, Hana, Yala'a, Noam, Wala'a, Yashun, Shashawamor, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamaria, Yahweh, Tizalia, Isle, Yum Yum Ya, Hashamash.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Hold on, Ancient Garden.
Akaya, Ayawam, Wala'a, Alabina, Alayala, Yahweh, Yashamaria, Makal, Rai.
Thank you, Ancient Garden. I got you. Hey, great seeing you there, Sister Lisa.
Yashamar, Hawalakya, Wapapa'aya, Ma'aitha, Wa'ai, Awalam, Aman.
Trying to do some multitasking right now, so maybe we'll have a little bit longer live. We'll see. But I'm going to be doing a couple things at the same time while we're doing it live. We're trying to just give you guys, the family, an opportunity to kind of come together and talk about the things that have been going on right now. Because as you can see, every time the Most High gives us more knowledge and more understanding, you see how things act up with the other nations. I'm just going to kind of give the family an opportunity to kind of get their notifications and come in. Right from jump, it kind of kicked me off, so hopefully right now it'll be all right going forward. But if not, if we get kicked off, we'll just start like another live, and you guys just jump into the other live. You know what I'm saying? Like we always do, like we've been doing from now on. Hey, great seeing you there, 12. Great seeing you. You see how, Most High gives us that, he opened up that knowledge about the underworld, the subterranean world. And then all of a sudden, I said, things have just been jumping off even more and more with these, this information, with these other nations over there in Europe. He said, and there's nothing that's going to stop this. As much as they're trying to say, like all of a sudden now they're saying, oh, the Republicans, they're not down with Ukraine, they're not down with supporting Ukraine. If you vote them in, they're going to stop the war. They're going to stop the funding. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's just another, they're just going with the wind. However the wind's blowing, they're going to try to go that direction. All of a sudden, people are kind of starting to get wise to what's going on. So then all of a sudden now all of a sudden they're gonna have a backbone and say, oh, we're not gonna support Ukraine. Like, yeah, right. You guys have had a long time to grow a backbone, and you guys haven't done it. So what's to make you think that things are not gonna change? They're just trying to give some hope to some of these people here. That says, but there is none. There is no hope coming. Well, I'm glad you checked in, Jesse of Yasharala. Let's play that song again while we wait for some more people to come on in. I just kind of went on real fast. I didn't set up any notifications or anything like that, so I know it's kind of quick, fast and in a hurry. But that's all right. Like I said, we'll just give the family a chance to kind of come in. No problem. We're not in a hurry. Both of you guys can hear the song from Yada Yada 7, Psalms 121, sung in ancient Hebrew.
Smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. Amen.
Hey, great seeing you, Brother Capstone. I agree with you, Valentina Smith. We are much closer to being home.
Isaiah, Yahweh, my Yahweh, Shah
Right, Stardust wrapped in flesh, so true. Hard to keep up with all the things that are going on right now, exactly.
Regalia, Yala Nawam, Shashamoria, Ana, Yala Nawam, Wala Yashan, Shasha Wamor, Yasha Allah, Yahweh, Shamaria, Yahweh, Tazalia, Isle, Yum Yum Ya, Hashamash, Yala Hakaya, Ayawam, Wala
Cassini Rashawn Irvin.
Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamaria, Makau, Rai, Yashamar, Nepasha, Yahweh, Yashamar, Hawalanja, Wabaaya, Ma'aitha, Wa'ai, Awalam, Aman.
Yes, rebuke all devils. Yes, we heard about that. We're going to talk about a lot of those different things right now. Let's get into it, family. Let's get into some of this information and get into some of the understanding right now. I see that Brother Caps on the Mississippi is revealing beaches in Mississippi. I'm seeing that like a lot of these rivers are drying up, and a lot of these rivers are drying up, and then hold on, look out. And then they're revealing things that are hidden under the waters. Have you guys seen that? You guys seen a lot of the stuff that's been hidden out here in, I know in Vegas, in Lake Mead. They were showing, one of the subscribers sent me a picture, and it looked like one of the places where Lake Mead had dried up. It looked like it was stairs, and like an entrance into like a pyramid or something was actually there. So I'm sure that a lot of these rivers are drying up, and they're revealing many things that we're not seeing. They're not showing us, but that's okay because the Most High is going to let us see it. Yes, yes, Sister Lisa, yes. And we know that there's plenty in the Mississippi that they're showing us as well. You know, the Most High is showing us. He's bringing all this information out. I was checking out Lord of the Rings again, the first one and the second one, and he said just all these things you just start to pick up. All these little things they're putting in these movies. They put all these clues in these movies for us to pick up. Something I wanted to talk about right now was, I think in the last video I was talking about how, you know, if Ish was the people, shouldn't Ish be, you know, a guiding light here in these end days? You know, no, I have not seen the new one yet, but the new Lord of the Rings yet. But should not Ish be, you know, in the forefront, you know, leading the people, giving the people knowledge, giving the people understanding? You know, and I was talking about that in the last video. I said they've been very quiet. So they haven't been saying much of anything, right? And we kind of mentioned that in the last video. That, hey, you know, you're supposed to be a light on the hill. You're supposed to be teaching the world, you know, giving them direction. You know, if you can't see at this point that we are at the end, you know, the actions or the lack of actions really is really telling right now. So all of a sudden, there was one of these rabbis came out and talked about how he's been talking with the Messiah, and all of a sudden, Off-Grid Desert Prepper did a video talking about the Messiah. Did you guys see that on Off-Grid Desert Prepper's channel? How he did a video because they were talking about how this guy supposedly has memorized the Talmud and whatever else, and that he's the Messiah, and in a couple of weeks they're going to bring him out. I know they talked about him a while ago, but it was just, the timing was pretty impeccable, because you mentioned that in the last video, how they haven't really been saying much, and then all of a sudden, you know, they try to come out with information about how, you know, he's the Messiah and how they're going to bring him out and how he's revealing himself here at the end. And as you can tell, they're still trying to fulfill their prophecies. They're still trying to, you know, fulfill their Left Behind series and Left Behind prophecies. I was like, yeah, it's kind of hilarious because it's like you guys have been quiet this whole time. And if someone kind of mentions something about you being quiet, then all of a sudden you guys start making videos, you know, trying to talk about, you know, trying to interject yourselves in the end times right now and showing how, you know, your guy right here is going to fulfill prophecy. I was like, too late. Too late. But it's just, like I said, it's amazing to watch because, like I said, I told you guys, I said the Most High, as He gives us more knowledge and more understanding, it pushes the Gentiles more and more into a corner. And then they have to, try to do something bigger, in order to keep people's attention. But that just proves that this information is being shared and people are watching it much more than they're allowing us to see. Too many of these other channels that have big followings supposedly are copying a lot of the things that we're bringing up. You didn't hear people talking about underground, subterranean worlds or whatever else, or very rarely you saw that. And then all of a sudden we start bringing it up because the Most High puts it on our heart to bring it up. And all of a sudden you got all these people talking about it. So when they sent me something about Bagley talking about subterranean worlds and some subterranean information on the October the 20th. I don't know if you guys heard about that. I'm not sure if anyone here saw that Paul Bagley video, because I didn't see it. But if you did see it, if you want to share some of the information, please feel free. Yeah, they're not, woke. They've been trying to use the same terms, woke and the truth, whatever else, but they're not woke. We already know that. Yeah, I don't watch many of those other. I don't have time to watch many of those other channels. I said, but when some of the subscribers and the family lets me know certain things that are going on, I'll try to check it out. But I mean, I don't have an extra hour or 2 hours to try to skim through trying to find out what this dude's talking about. Yeah, it's funny them talking about being woke when they won't, they won't talk about many of the things that we talk about as far as with that Revelation 6 and 8 though. Why don't you break that down? Why don't you break down who the Israelites? Why don't you break down, who the scriptures were given to? Where does it say the scriptures were given to the Gentiles? Where does it say that they have the authority to be able to canonize certain scriptures and certain scriptures throughout? You start asking them questions, they got nothing to say. But as you can see, they are admitting now that they have the 101st Airborne with 5,000 of their troops right there on the border with Ukraine and Belarus. So, like I said, I mean, that's absolutely, that's amazing because, I mean, hey, you got your troops over there. I'm sure you got your equipment over there. You don't send all that stuff over there for no reason. Besides wearing glasses. I was still cracking up with, like I said, hold on, you got, what is this, stay on topic, on point right here. You got all those troops over there. I said, that's what they're admitting to. We know there's way more than what they're not going to admit to everything they got over there. They got the B-1 bombers over there. They got, these bombers that can drop nuclear weapons over there. They're already talking about how Russia, they're already ready to blame Russia for the dam that's about to be, destroyed and about letting off dirty nukes. I heard about that right now from one of the other channels talking about they're already setting up Russia to be the culprit. And a lot of this, it sounds like they're talking about needing to do this before the midterms. because they're anticipating the Republicans coming into power. And then if the Republicans come into power, then all of a sudden, you know, them getting a blank check to do whatever they want is going to be over. Which to me doesn't make any sense, because, you know, if they could have already been, you know, sounding the alarm or saying certain things, but they haven't. They just been going along with, you know, whatever the whole, you know, system decides to do. Because we understand that they're not opposed to each other. You know, they've been working together this entire time. You know, I said, so it just doesn't make any, like a lot of the things they're talking about doing, you know, I still laugh at a lot of these people acting like, you know, well, one thing that Paul did say, which was pretty funny, was he was talking about, well, you know, later on, you know, when they rewrite history and they're going to talk about history, about things that are happening right now, you know, you're going to know about the things they're talking about right now. I'm like, do you guys really think that you're going to be able to, you're going to be in power, you know, 20 years down the road, 30 years down the road, where the Most High is going to leave you in charge to write history about the things that are happening right now? You know, I said, you really think that that's, you know, the Most High's allowed you guys to be in charge for this long, and He's already seen how you write your history. That's why all of a sudden now you guys have such an issue with critical race theory, which you call, you know, it's a critical race theory when it's history from another point of view. History from another point of view other than yours. And you keep hearing these people talking about, you know, talk about critical race theory negatively. But it's like, well, people aren't allowed to have their own opinion. People aren't allowed to see history, you know, from their own eyes. And if they come up with something different, then they're wrong, and they're making up history, you know, or it's racist or whatever else. But the original history that they've come up with isn't racist. I don't need to cover the Piso family, brother. You know, Ehud Davis, which call did that already? We already had other brothers that already talked about the Piso family. I don't need to do videos on information that's already been covered. We had, like I said, other brothers that already did videos on that. So if you want information on the Piso family, they can do that. And that's how it is. Like, you know, we got plenty of brothers, you know, and sisters that are doing videos. You can go and bring out information. And there's no need to like just copy the same things and do the same things over and over again. So we got other brothers who've been doing that for a while. And that's why it's good to go to other brothers' channels and check out their information. So because then you get a chance to get, you know, we all can't be have all the information on everything. So that's why the Most High gives some information to some brothers and sisters, you know. So exactly, there are plenty of videos on the Piso family. Exactly. That's why you got to be well-rounded and go to different areas. But sitting here and just listening to them talk about, well, when they write this history about what's going on right now, I was like, y'all ain't going to be in a position to write about the history of the things that are going on right now. The Most High is already exposing all of your history. Well, not all of it, but he's exposing enough of it that we can see that you guys have been lying about absolutely, you know, absolutely everything. So you think he's going to leave you in charge to write history once again? You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys are going to somehow be in power to write more history? I said, come on now. So you guys are, I said, it's just hilarious to sit here and listen to them. Like they seem to think that they're never going to have to pay for absolutely anything that they've done, you know? I did see something right here. Paul Bailey stuff popped up on my feed. Breaking Aurora blast, 250-mile wide hole in Earth ozone layer. See that? An aurora blast 250-mile wide hole in Earth ozone layer. You see what I'm saying? Like there's all these things, that are happening all over the world. And they said the Most High just we were talking about that a while ago, you know. And then all of a sudden, now they're talking about the auroras, ozone layers, blasts going on over there, things like that. I said just amazing, you know. I said it's just absolutely amazing. Right, Hugh Davis, exactly. And that's how it is. Like I said, I'm not trying to do videos when other brothers have done an excellent job already, or have done excellent jobs, or brothers and sisters have done excellent jobs already, bringing out that information. It's not necessary, you know what I mean? That's why, like, when you get stuck in camps, and you get stuck, and with them doing the same thing, they can only break down the same topics, over and over again. They can only talk about the same things over and over again for so long before people just decide to go somewhere else, unless that's the area where the Most High leaves you. But for others, they start to want to go other places, That Kanye, I'm like, yeah, I mean, hey, like I said, you should be able to easily see through all that. Hey, how many of these so-called athletes or rappers, entertainers have they used to come out, say a little something, and then they fall right back in line to what they believed before? Exactly, Sister Lisa. They think that privilege is with them forever. I was cracking up with someone who was talking about the Voyagers book. And they're like, I've been studying the Voyagers book, Big Judah, for like 2 or 3 years. And in Voyagers too, it says, stuff about black people being evil and blah, 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 and this, and that. I was like, oh, so we're still on that, huh? We're still on, black skin's a curse, so don't read the book. Yeah, that you already did that with the Book of Mormon. You've already done that with plenty of books. It doesn't, see, that's the thing, it doesn't matter. You can say whatever you guys want. We'll still read it for ourselves. And we'll still, we'll learn how to, eat the meat and spit out the bones. And those things don't work anymore. So you guys have been, I said, we understand that all books have good information and information that might not, be the most accurate. It's up to us, through the power of the Most High, to sift through that. I don't believe 100% of any of the books that I read, and neither should you. Just like the Bible. And see, that's what the church always try to say. The Bible is 100% true, and it is the inerrant word of God, and pretty much there's no mistakes in it, and this and that. And like, how is that possible? I said, it's a translation. So there's going to be plenty of words that they're going to pick and choose in order to lead us astray. So they're doing that stuff on purpose. So they're telling you they're going to break it down however they want. They're going to translate it however they want, and then tell you that it is the inerrant word of God. But then when you start finding things that don't make sense, then they tell you, well, don't worry about that. The pastor will break it down for you, or you're not understanding that correctly, or whatever. Just like when I talked to that pastor, and he tried to, well, I'm an ordained pastor, ordained minister. He goes, oh, I would love to be able to, talk about the Book of Enoch. I was like, man, there's way more books than just the Book of Enoch. I said, but who are the ones? I said, you can't sit there and talk mess about the churches, and then you're still part of the church. And then and talk about how they're hiding books. But then, the church that you belong to, that you pledge allegiance to, are the ones who have decided which books you can and can't read. I said, there's just so many. It's just a comedy of errors. You know what I'm saying? It's just a comedy of errors. And I'm hoping, like I said, one thing I said, hopefully make sure you guys check after this is over with, after we do the live, that they put the live chat back up. I think one of the sisters was telling me that for some people, they could see the live stream on one of the last chats or last lives, but then sometimes they haven't been putting them up. And that's the main thing right now. Is I says when I make the videos with the information, we share the information. You know, I said, then we're growing and we're getting that information and we're sharing information. When we have these chats, we come together in order for us to kind of come together and spend some time together and go over some of the information, look at the events that are going on right now, you know, bounce some information off of each other, things like that. You know, it's not the same. It's not the same as when I do videos sharing information. You know, this is more for us to get to come together, more for us to spend time with the family, and to kind of look at what's going on. You know, looking at what's going on. I trust the moderators will be taking care of anybody who's acting crazy in the chat. If y'all haven't noticed, I said the moderators don't play, and they don't waste time with people who really aren't here to learn or here to, you know, to fellowship. I saw that. Hold on, see. Our crops are being sold to Europe. Yeah, I heard about that. You know, they're probably selling a lot of our natural gas, and I know that we were giving gas to them too, fuel, everything. You know, a lot of that stuff to them. And then that confirms a lot more of Joel too, when they know that they're not going to be able to stay here. So therefore, they're moving a lot of resources up out of here. You know, that's something for the Gentiles as well. Hey, you guys haven't broken down Joel 2. Y'all haven't broken down Joel 3. But you guys want to be, you know, oh, I'm an ordained pastor. You know, if you guys need some help, I can break it down for you. It's all about love. It's amazing how all of a sudden they want to be talking about love all the time. All of a sudden, like I said, it's all about love. So where was all this love the last 400 to 500 years, you know? Where was all the love then? Yeah, they get no peace. You're right about that. You're right about that. I saw that brother Big Levi has shown a picture of Voyager's 1 and how now it was going for oh my goodness, hold on here. It was going for $1,300 already. They were selling it for $1,300 already. You know, he said it's just amazing. But hey, you know, don't read it because it says negative things about black people, right? I heard about that too. Bill Lord Tough, Saudi Arabia, talking about joining the BRICS. Like I said, everywhere, every direction that the United States looks, you know, things are getting worse and worse. You know, many of their allies, you know, people that they thought they were their allies, are now turning against them. And even like I said, a lot of these people even thinking that the BRICS is going to save them. I said, I says none of these things are going to save them. I said Most High is in charge, and he's performing a mighty work right now. He's waking us up. He's waking us up in the midst of all of our enemies, and many of them are totally unaware of it. Well, no one says you got to pay that much. I'm just saying that's how much they're asking for. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but the fact that they're even asking that kind of price, I said for supposed books that are not true, information isn't true, and whatever else. I said it's just pretty amazing, isn't it? And like I said, when you look at the videos, it's like, hey, when the last video I did yesterday, talking about how is it possible that all these societies before Esau got in charge were able to build all these things. As says, and then what they did was they went in and they hid all the stuff they used to do. They just put it under pagan. That's it. And you got people who are supposedly in the truth, and they try to attack myself about information they don't even study themselves. I said, you sound just like a church. That's nothing but a church. That's what churches do. Making us pay for our own history, that's okay. And resources that were meant to be free. Well, yes, but you're using their money to get that. And really, like I said, what's their money going to really be worth real soon? Nothing. So, you should use because we talk about using their money and things like that to secure blessings and whatever else. What better way to use their money than to, use it to get, to help our people? People will, wouldn't even bat an eye to spend $300, $400, $500 for a pair of shoes. So, for a jacket, for some jeans, for a bag, or whatever else. So we gotta spend some extra money right now to get this information. And look, when you get the information, yeah, you can get some of it on PDF, exactly. You can find it on PDF, exactly. And but as you can see also though, as we bring this information out, it also brings the other nations down. So it all works together, right? So if you knew that you could do certain things that were going to expose your enemies and bring them down, I would think that would be a good thing to do. Very true, exactly. Love abides. The wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. Look at all of these billionaires falling out of the sky. Exactly. Exactly. Great point right there. Why are they saying you can take your money out of the banks? Because they're always trying to create some kind of fear, like they always do. Nothing new. And what you gotta understand also is that some of this information isn't for everyone. It isn't for all the other nations. It isn't for everyone else to see. That's the thing with this. That's what these secret societies were all about. These secret societies, because they had our information, but they only gave it. Only certain people were able to get it. So that's like a fine line of things that of what's playing out here as well. That's why you hear people, are you gonna upload everything? Are you gonna, you should give it all to. I was like, it's not for everybody. But see, that would, a lot of times there's going to be a lot of Gentiles. You know, they're going to be, oh, okay, you need to go ahead and do this, and you need to do that. And you can tell, you know, and you can tell, you know, a lot of times now, you know, who we're dealing with by the comments that they make and the things that they say. You know what I'm saying? Like the way, if you get, I get people all the time, you need to show this, or you need to break this down, or you need to do a video for this. And I was like, yeah, you're someone who doesn't want to do any work yourself. You're someone who doesn't want to study on your own. Well, of course, it'd be beneficial. There's also, you can also go and find a lot of the stuff online as well. Yep, exactly. Well, I'm not 4:30 to the drop either. Well, perfect. Then you can go to 4:30 to the drop. You can get all his stuff down. No problem. There you go, right there. Exactly. There's a lot of the books. You can find a lot of the books. You just might have to, you know, put forth a little bit of effort, but you can find them. Because it's just nothing new. We always get the same things. You know, you get people that always come in, you know, always come in and want to have comments, but it's always about what you can do for them. Like I said, we're in a totally different time now. Thank you, 12. Exactly, Pandora Kroom, exactly. And that's how it is right now. It's like, hey, the Most High gonna make a way. If you really want it, the Most High will make a way. I said, this internet is a beast. Is that the internet is a beast. You know, sometimes what happens is with a lot of these books is this, you know, if you don't get first editions, or you sometimes get later editions, they take out a lot of information. the books aren't always. I mean, they have a lot of information, but sometimes what you do is the other books that they're referencing will lead you to more understanding. You know, and if you don't get the earlier editions or you don't get the first edition of a book, sometimes they'll start taking a lot of that information out. That's how I got hip to dogs, dogs of the conquest. I said I think that was in lies my teacher told me, and it was from one of those other books. Oh no, American Holocaust. It was American Holocaust, and it referenced dogs of the conquest. Never heard of it before, but we found it, and when we found it, I think it was like $130 for the book or whatever else. So we ended up getting Dogs of the Conquest, and that just opened up our minds to so much, you know, so much more things that they don't talk about. So, you know, so we got that book and we do a video on that, and that book shoots up to over $1,000. Okay, but then that leads us to, you know, Christopher Columbus' Book of Prophecies, you know, and pretty much the only book that he wrote. Like I said, but a lot of it is a lot of these, you know, first editions. He said even in the PDFs, they're really quick to change things out, take stuff out, and things like that. You know, I said, so that's why, you know, Most High makes it a point to make sure we get certain books, certain information. Because like I said, it's not always the books that are in there, the original book that you get, but a lot of times it's about the books that are in there that they're making references to, where they're getting their knowledge from. Yep, they have a lot of them in private collections, exactly. Of course, they're driving up prices, and you know what? They'll pay for that. Most high, trust me, they're not going to get away with absolutely anything. If they're, you know, going out of their way to keep our information from us, they're going to pay for that. That's going to be something that they're going to have to pay for in the future. And just like the ones who have helped Israel to be able to get this information, he says you're going to be blessed for that. And, you know, it talks about that in the Bible. It talks about, you know, how when I was, you know, did you help my people? When you did these things for the Most High's people, you did it to Him. So when you're trying your best to keep information from us, you know, you're doing it to Yahweh. When you're trying to keep information from us, you know, you're trying to keep us from connecting back to our Father, you're not doing it to us, you're doing it to Yahweh. And you're going to have to pay for that. If you're actually here and you're actually helping, and you're actually being a blessing to Israel, you're blessing Yahweh. You're blessing the Most High. You see that's the thing. Like, you know, right now, yeah, we're in the end times. I says, but like I said, this internet is an absolute beast. You can find so much information if you know what to look for. The thing was, for so long, we didn't know what to look for. You know, I says they've gone out of their way to keep us from looking at these books. That's why you can only look at the Bible. You can only look at the Bible. That's it. Don't look anywhere else. And as soon as you start doing that, you know, they got people to sit there. You know, they got their gatekeepers to keep you from going out into other books, going out to other information. Like I said, I mean, it's amazing how deep this is. You know, and how they've set up all of these traps for us. You know. And a lot of times, like I said, these books aren't always this expensive. And, you know, at the beginning, when I first, sometimes I'll find them, most time will get into me for a decent price. And then we'll do a video, 1 or 2 videos, or our people start looking for them. Then all of a sudden, these prices jump up. And like I said, every book, you know, you got to look for what the Most High calls you to. You know, I said some of these books I got, they might not be necessarily for me. They might be for someone else to read in the future. I'm gonna have to get my Hold on real quick, fan. I'm gonna need to get my charger because my phone's about to die. Keep on talking. Let me get my cord real fast. Thank you. I'm not done, but I need a charger. All right, family. Let me plug this in real quick. Let's get this charging right quick. Okay. Yeah, I found it. Just keep on, just keep on reading, keep on studying, keep on meditating, keep on growing. Let's start implementing this information, you know, that the Most High is blessing us with. Watch how the Most High works. We're seeing how this is working. I mean, take a look. Like I said, they're talking about. I mean, you look at all. It's like, where do you go, as far as the news is concerned? You know, where do you go? Yeah. We're not even, you know, yeah. I'm not even seeing trolling. Oh, people, yeah. The Black Adam movie, yeah, right? I mean, you know, I'm sure I haven't seen it, you know, but I'm sure there's plenty of gonna be plenty of nuggets in there as well. Yeah, we don't even waste our time with the trolls. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I guess even with people that are here, I can tell them, hey, if you don't like what's being said here, you don't agree, you can put that you don't agree, whatever else. I said, but you know, no need to troll. If you don't like it, you can always go. There's plenty of other channels that you can go to. Plenty of other channels you can go and you can check out. You know, I said, cause I mean, I'll check out some of the news from the other nations, but as we can see, you know, they're saying many things, but they're not proving a lot of this stuff is even happening. They keep talking about all these places being blown up and whatever else, but we're not seeing a lot of that stuff. What was the tell us about Superman's comment? I didn't hear. I want to hear what he said. Exactly. If they don't like it, they can kick rocks, hit the road. Exactly. Exactly, Princess Lily. Politely leave and go somewhere else. That's exactly it. Told the world they will not be ready for us to change. Okay. And like I said, that's the thing right now. Like I said, the world's not going to be ready. It seems like, are they really getting ready to fight with each other? Or are they really preparing to fight what's about to crack the skies open? Exactly. Black Adam and Call L, exactly. Those are people, exactly. And I've said that all, as long as I've done videos. I've always told people if if you don't like what's being said here, please hit the road, go somewhere else. So I've never been about numbers, never been about trying to force people to come, never been about force people to listen. I said that's been something that I've always been like, you know. So we don't have, and now like I said, really the Most High is really proving that right now that that's not what this kind of a part. It's not that kind of a party. Like if it doesn't resonate with your spirit, this is something you can go. You can have to go somewhere else. And I think that's what bothers them so much is that we're the kind of group that doesn't ask for people to stay. Very true, Mahogany Love. It is a chance to kind of like listen to what they have to say, and kind of understand like what their mindset is. But like I said, we don't see us. We don't go on other people's channels, wasting our time. You know, yeah. Like I said, I'm seeing a lot of people coming up with a lot of videos talking about all these UFOs they're seeing in the sky. All the, thousands of them. Many of them talking about subterranean societies and worlds and things like that. Talking about, I share some of the videos about Antarctica and the things that they had over there. Something that I've noticed is that a lot of the Germans, pre World War II, were looking for this subterranean world, or even and during World War II. you know, old boy with the mustache, little mustache. He was looking for a lot of this stuff. A lot of the people that he were influences on him were into this information about Agartha and things like that. And so sometimes it kind of like, is that why they're so demonized? Because they were looking for these types of things, or they would bring a lot more eyes to this kind of information about the opening, at the bottom of the world, the top of the world, and the poles and things like that. And they don't want people to even think about that. So therefore demonize the person. I mean, have we not as a people been demonized, so much so that people would not listen to us? So it kind of seems like that's exactly what's going on with a mini tonight. Because as you can tell, like many of the times, like they don't talk about the information. That's how they used to always deal with us. They didn't talk about the information that we bring out, just like today they don't. But they try to demonize us, right? I said they try to demonize as opposed to, instead of actually dealing with the information, they try to demonize. Just like they even with Kanye, I said it's all the same. It's he says something, and then they say, "Well, you need to apologize. You don't understand. You need to apologize. Are you going to apologize? Are you not going to? Why aren't you going to apologize?" And they want to control the narrative that way. Not dealing with what's being said, but always like trying to control the narrative and things like that. So that's been their MO this whole time. And that's why many of our children, don't believe that we have a history. They think that our history started when, it's slavery. I says, but, just like in the title, in the thumbnail, you saw how the Asians in the Shaolin temple right there. I says they are in a temple that has pictures of our people on the walls. Let that sink in for a minute. They are in a sacred temple, a Shaolin temple, that has pictures of our people on the walls. So to act as if somehow they don't know that we were the original people that were passing on martial arts and things like that uh, is a farce. So if they know, but then they're keeping quiet because they want to be the originators of martial arts and all of this knowledge and everything else. If they're doing that, I mean, right there in front of your face, then what are the other nations hiding? I mean, like I said, because we assume that the Asians that are in China were always there. The Asians that were in Mongolia were always there. They're always talking about Agartha being in Tibet. So how do we know that the people that are in Tibet now are the ones that have always been there? If you can look at just the Chinese or the Asians that are in the Shaolin Temple, who have our information, who have our pictures on their walls, every day that they're going and they're meditating and they're practicing, and they're doing all of their stuff, all of their activities, every day they're reminded that we're not the original people. Every day they go into that temple, they're reminded that these so-called people that are at the bottom are the originators of this information. But see, when you hear Asia and you hear India, you think of the people that are there today. So now our people don't think that we have a history. We were given our history to everyone else. And when people would come in and say, well, you need to, share this information, you need to do this and you need to do that. And I was like, hold on. You need to talk to all these other nations who have hidden everything from us. It's always, they always get upset with the one who starts bringing out that the Most High uses to bring out the truth, but they never seem to get upset or figure out, ways to get around what the other nations have done to our people. Like, okay, I just see the Most High is giving you opportunity to bring out some of this information and expose some of this information. Well, you need to actually bring it all out. You need to do everything for us. You want, and as opposed to being upset again with the ones who have hidden all this information, they want to be upset with the ones that the Most High has used to bring it out. Definitely that time is just about over. Yes, they do. Psalms 83 has a hell of a price to pay. Exactly. Psalms 83 and people who have been aligned with them have a hell of a price to pay. Right, you're right, Ohio player. The way the Most High is unfolding his plan is cold-blooded. Exactly. Exactly. I was hearing talking about Ethiopia too. I'm sure it was something else. I'm sure it wasn't even Ethiopia either. I know that when the Europeans went over there and they started carving up Africa, they're the ones who set up all the borders. All right, family, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. It's great hanging out. And I said, and we'll see what the Most High is just going to be doing this week. I said, because we understand that as the Most High gives us more knowledge, understanding that there's going to be more and more um, destruction coming on the world. They, are not trying to link. They're not trying to show the people that this is why things are happening. They think it's all random, and they seem to think that they're going to still stay on top, as things continue. But we all know that that's not true. We all understand that that's not true. Covering the faces of the judges, flipping maps. Yep. Like I said, you can see it. You can see prophecy. You see the Bible and how it's just all played out and playing out right now, and it's absolutely amazing to see. And to have those eyes to see how all this is. It's worldwide. Worldwide. But thank you so much, family, for coming in and hanging out. May the Most High bless you, and you guys have a great day. Shalom.